Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be looking at Sagittarius Mars. This video is for you if your Mars placement is in the sign of Sagittarius. If you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. So Mars in our natal charts deals with how we get motivated, what motivates us, what our ambitions are, how we go about getting our goals and our ambitions. Also Mars in our natal charts deals with how we handle conflict as well. Sagittarius energy is very interesting in here actually because Sagittarius is fire, but it is mutable fire. So Sagittarius overall loves freedom. They love the higher mind. They love learning things. They're very, very intellectual. They're very, very fast. And the thing is with Sagittarius energy, they never want to be bored. When you guys have Mars in the sign of Sagittarius, you guys are definitely going to be the most interesting ones probably in your friend group with all these wild ideas of all these things you guys want to do. And you guys might constantly find yourselves moving on to the next thing, onto the next thing, and onto the next thing. Now the thing is like this energy is fire. So you guys have a lot of energy and it's like it really depends what way you look at it, right? Because for you guys, when you have Mars and Sag, it's like this might be very exciting. This might be the full-blown lifestyle that you guys choose for yourselves. You guys might want to travel a lot, move around a lot, build a lifestyle around travel and freedom and just being free as a soul. But on the other end of things, this energy can become very, very reckless. They can kind of burn bridges, along the way where it's like, I just want to be free. You're kind of suffocating me. I can't be involved in this anymore. I can't be involved in this job. I can't be involved in this situation anymore. And they might kind of burn these bridges along the way to get that freedom that this energy really truly does seek deep down inside. So that's the name of the game for Sagittarius energy. That's why a lot of the time you're going to notice Sagittarius placements could be interested in entrepreneurship. But the thing is, Sagittarius energy needs to learn how to direct their energy because they're fire. They're very fiery. They're going to be very good when they finally pick that one thing that they want to do. But picking that thing, now that's a completely different story. It might be a little bit of a struggle for you guys because you guys want to know everything. You guys want to know everything that this world has to offer. You guys might be very interested in traveling and moving around. If you're not able to travel, you guys might be interested in working in maybe like the tourism industry where you guys do get to meet people from abroad and different places. You guys are very much about different cultures. Mars and Sagittarius could be interested in things like, it depends on the rest of your natal charts. You guys could be interested in jobs that deal with international relations, international PR, like these types of things where you guys are working on an international level. This placement can very much find themselves in these types of jobs, maybe even something like the UN. I mean, really at the end of the day, the sky is the limit for this energy. It's all about focusing the energy though, because the thing is for Sagittarius Mars, Sagittarius energy overall, when it's a little bit more underdeveloped and it's in that shadow energy, what might happen is you guys might find yourselves constantly chasing the next high. That's the thing, you guys might get stuck in that cycle where it's like you guys are kind of just starting things just because it's new and it's stimulating and it's exciting, and that's why it would be a little bit of a struggle for you guys to operate down here on this physical plane, because it's like the physical plane is very mundane. It's very much about the day-to-day. It's very much about practice makes perfect and do the same thing all the time, have the same routine, and these types of things, like for you guys, even just hearing that might make you guys feel like you're suffocating a little bit, like your soul is in this cage, and that's the worst thing. You guys do not want to be in a cage of any sort. You guys want to be free in every realm, okay? Because it is Mars, this is going to be probably the era of maybe career for you guys or wherever you guys have your goals and your ambitions. The thing is, the Mars energy in our natal chart is our personal power. You can kind of look at it as your solar plexus chakra. It's your identity also in a way. So for you guys, a lot of your identity is formed through being free, through being that person that's spontaneous and just like out of the box. And you guys have all these wild ideas, and it's like somebody messages you today and says, hey, next week I want this trip to go to Italy or wherever, and you guys are kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Like, you're gonna be that friend. And it's interesting because with the Sagittarius energy, deep down inside, you guys might feel like, I just want to have fun, and I always want to have fun, and I just always want to be going on adventures, and every day has to look different. But it's like, first of all, sometimes that isn't necessarily realistic just because of the nature of the way that the world is. But secondly, also like eventually, surprisingly, people do come out of their phases in life, and we do have something called secondary progressions in astrology. So you guys come out of Sagittarius Mars and you guys move into Capricorn Mars, where it's like now you're really directing your energy. When you have Mars in Capricorn, it is now exalted. For those of you who are interested in learning all about secondary progressions, you guys can definitely type in Google secondary progressions, and any of the astrology websites will probably give you the calculator for that to see where you are in terms of your progressions. Mars does move a little bit slower, so it's going to depend on the degrees, but eventually you guys do come out of Mars and Sag into Mars and Capricorn, where it's like now you guys might be building, might be a little bit of a different era for you guys. And it's actually really interesting to see this progression play out because it's like in that era where you guys guys were maybe Mars in Sagittarius, there could have been a lot of reckless energy. There could have been a lot of reckless behavior, and in general, because the thing is, it's really interesting to look at Sagittarius energy because it comes out of Scorpio. Scorpio is all about catharsis and change and transforming and really transforming on that emotional level. And then eventually we have Sagittarius, and it's like you guys carry that energy within you guys, this change, this deep catharsis. And it's like sometimes you guys might just burn things. Again, burn those bridges, burn situations, just like tear everything down just to have that new beginning. That's the thing for you guys. It's like the high of the new beginning, the high of the newness, the high of really having something start. It's going to be very, very enticing for this particular energy, but it's like eventually as life goes on, it's kind of like how many new beginnings can you really have? You know what I mean? Some people can live their whole lives in this type of energy, but eventually you'll notice, you know, especially for people who have a lot of Sagittarius placements, you'll get surprised eventually like throughout their life, and as they change and as they go through these progressions, they go into that Capricorn energy. And it's very interesting to see that progression because it's like Sagittarius is prepping itself to go into that stability energy. So it's almost like deep down inside, when you have a Mars and Sagittarius, you guys kind of feel like this fire within. You guys almost feel like you're limited. In a weird way, it's not really scarcity, but it's almost like you guys feel like time is running out and like you guys want to really pack as many things as you can. And in a way, it's almost like you guys know from a higher self level that eventually you will be moving into Capricorn, and eventually you will be moving into something that you guys are now building. So that's the thing. So while you guys have your Mars and Sagittarius, obviously do you. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys probably will, regardless of this video or not, but it's like still kind of have at the back of your minds that progression that you guys are about to go into Mars and Capricorn, and think about maybe what could that look like for you. I'm sure the Mars and Sagittarius energy definitely won't be thinking that far into the future, but eventually you guys will notice within yourselves as you grow and as you evolve and as you change, probably toward the end of that Mars and Sag era, you guys may have picked something that you guys want to focus on and really direct all your energy towards. So that's a little bit of a struggle with the Mars and Sag energy because it's like Sagittarius is fire, and you would think that Sagittarius and the Mars placement is going to be super fiery and super passionate. Absolutely, you guys might be for a period of time, but it's mutable fire. That's the struggle. So when you have mutable fire, it's like you're super passionate, you're super excited about something. You guys might be preaching it. That's why sometimes this energy can even be like a salesman type of energy. It can become very, very preachy because it's like Sagittarius, when they discover something that they think is like the best thing ever and this like newfound discovery, because it's all about philosophies at the end of the day, and you guys will be able to convince people of these things. Keep that in mind. You guys have this like charisma to you. It's the way you guys speak, it's fiery, it's passionate, and it's like because you guys believe in it, you guys can tell it to other people. So this energy can be very good in these types of roles where it's like salesman or even coaching or teaching something or like motivating a crowd. Some of you guys that have Mars in the sign of Sagittarius might have these dreams, you know, of motivating a crowd or being a motivational speaker or teaching something in one way, shape, or form. But the thing is, it's mutable. So that's where I was going with that. It's like because it's mutable, this week you guys could think you found the next best thing. You're teaching that and you're preaching it, and it's like next week you guys can change. It's mutable fire, but then you're preaching that thing to people around you. You guys might come off scattered or inconsistent, but it's like you guys just do not want to be tied down, especially in the earlier part of your life. The Sagittarius energy overall is known to be the bachelor or the bachelorette of the zodiac. It doesn't mean you guys are going to be single forever. You guys just crave freedom. That's the thing. So if you guys are able to be in a partnership, or if you guys are tuning in for someone who has a Mars and Sag energy, definitely give these people their freedom. Do not try to suffocate them in any type of way, like contracts and commitments where it's like, let's buy a house together, or let's like sign into this type of thing that's going to be like a 5-year contract, like whatever it is, mortgages, like these types of things. They don't want to commit. They don't want to commit to these things because it's fast changing. That's just the type of energy. It's fire. And it's like these things are boring for them and it weighs them down. It doesn't allow them to expand. That's the overall thing with Mars and Sagittarius. It's like for you guys are expanding. You're expanding on a soul level. You guys want to see everything that the world has to offer in whatever way, shape, or form that might manifest. If you're not able to travel, it can be through the internet these days. You can travel through the internet as well. You can learn all about different types of people. You guys are going to know so much. You're going to be so intelligent. And this is what's going to make you guys very attractive to a lot of people. You guys might have a lot of suitors when you have Mars and Sagittarius, because it's like, again, it's that fire within. It's almost like you guys have this like belief within yourselves, you know, and it's like sometimes you guys might jump into situations and it's like maybe that situation kind of prematurely jumped into it in the sense where it's like it might be risky or it might be dangerous, and you guys might find yourselves a lot of the time kind of being like, oh my gosh, like how did I get into this situation, or how did I get here, or how do I get myself out of this? But because it is Jupiter energy, the Sagittarius energy, you guys always get out. That's the thing with Sagittarius energy. You guys are always able to get out of things, whether it's at the last minute or you guys catch the last train where it's like you were saved by the bell. Like that's what it is, because it's like it's that opportunistic energy. The Sagittarius energy, you guys are lucky in the sense Now, I know that's up for debate. Some people don't believe in luck. Whatever way, shape, or form you want to look at it, you guys are just positive. You guys are positive vibes. So it's interesting to see because it's like, let's say, for example, you and your friend are chasing after a bus and maybe that friend or whatever, a train, and maybe that friend isn't a Mars and Sagittarius person. You guys would get in right as the doors are closing and that person would get stuck behind. You guys are just lucky in the sense. That's more so the visual that I'm getting, but it's the overall metaphor. Okay, that's at play here. This is why sometimes you guys might kind of feel like people hold you guys back because it's like everything comes down to energy and it comes down to the way that you see things and that you perceive things. And for Mars and Sagittarius person, you guys just perceive things very much lucky, abundant, positive, optimistic. So it's like, even if there's another person with you guys, or you guys are working on something with another person, like let's say you guys enter a raffle together. Let's say this is something that takes place for that person, they might lose, but you guys might win or whatever it is. You guys get the last piece of the pizza or honestly, whatever it is. It's that Jupiter energy, it's that luck that kind of follows you guys around. And the thing is with Sagittarius energy though, what I will say to you guys is because you guys bounce off of that Gemini energy, sometimes you guys can be a little bit mischievous, kind of like that Magician card in the tarot, because it's like, because you guys know that you guys can get away with things, you guys might really push boundaries in situations. And it's like, it doesn't mean that the luck is going to run out, but it's kind of like, you know, sometimes in life things happen a certain amount of times because you maybe are lucky or maybe that is a situation, but sometimes it's like the wheel of fortune. That wheel does eventually turn. So I would just kind of say, be weary when it comes to testing the boundaries with things, because sometimes this energy can go a little overboard. It's kind of like that whole energy of like, you bite off more than you can chew. Most of the times you guys can handle it, like 99.9% of the times you guys can definitely handle it, but sometimes you never know. That wheel turns. Like let's say even in school, like let's say you guys never study for tests, and it's like you guys were always lucky. You guys maybe just happened to listen during class or whatever it was, and it's like boom, maybe there's that one time where the substitute comes in and throws everybody off, and that's when you guys kind of get caught in that situation. So that's the whole idea here with the Mars and Sagittarius energy. Very positive energy, very fun. You guys are basically here to teach something when you guys have Mars and Sagittarius. As you guys kind of move through that progression, the planet when you're younger, you guys are everywhere, right? You're out the door, you have this friend for this, that friend for that. And it's interesting because for the Mars and Sagittarius person, they might feel like people can't really keep up with them. That's really what that is, because it's like you guys are full of life, and for you guys it's always about the next best thing and the most exciting thing. And sometimes you guys might feel like people can't match your energy or people can't keep up with you guys. As you guys move through that progression, this energy slowly does die down. That's the thing with fire in a natal chart. Eventually the fire does start to calm down a little bit, and you guys will notice that in the earlier part of your life, you guys go off on some sort of adventure. There's some sort of quest, because the thing is, Sagittarius energy in a natal chart is always seeking their purpose. They feel like they're here for a purpose. They want to know the purpose of life. Like, what is the meaning of life? Why are we here? What are we here to do? It's a very deep philosophical way of looking at life and thinking. And it's like, because of this, you guys go off on this quest. You go off on this journey. And most of the time, you'll notice Mars and Sagittarius people probably are going to develop some sort of belief system of their own. And after they've developed it and they've kind of packaged it into whatever they've learned along their journey, they think it's the best thing and they're going to sell it to people. That's the thing. That's the thing with the Sagittarius energy. It goes off, learns, and comes back, teaches. So the best way to direct this energy, if you guys have Mars in Sagittarius in your natal chart, is probably after you guys go on this adventure and you guys kind of cross everything off your list or bucket lists that you guys want to do, to kind of pick one thing, pick one skill that you guys have and one thing that you guys really want to focus on, and just focus on that thing and excel at it. Because I've noticed when I see Sagittarius in people's natal charts, these people tend to be very good at whatever they pick to do. Honestly, it can be on a huge range. It can also be athletics. I have noticed that as well. So Mars and Sagittarius could be interested in athletics. Obviously depends on the rest of your natal chart. A lot of the time I've noticed a lot of really good athletes have Virgo Sagittarius combinations. It's a beautiful combination because it's like you guys focus on that thing and you take the Virgo energy and you're perfecting it. But whatever it is, Sagittarius, when you guys do pick something Mars and Sag, you guys can excel at that thing. So athletics are going to be very important for you guys. Moving around is going to be very important. Doing some kind of job or whatever it is, like just sitting at a desk all day, isn't going to work for you guys unless there's a higher goal in mind, or unless you guys have the freedom through that job to do whatever it is that you guys want to do on the side, or if there's enough hours or whatever it is. But if it's something that's too rigid and constricting, you guys aren't going to be into it. That's just a matter of the fact with the Sagittarius energy. And with that being said, you guys are probably going to be very blunt, very honest, because you guys kind of come out of that Scorpio energy. When you look at the overall progression, once again, overall with the signs, go out of Scorpio and you go into Sag. So Scorpio is blunt in their own way. They can be cutthroat, and boom, you come into Sag, and it's like Sag just does not care. They literally don't care. They're gonna say things as they are. It can make you guys, once again, very attractive to people, because it's like most people might struggle with these things. This energy is all about choosing freedom. It's all about the self in that sense, because Mars is the personal power. Because for you guys just feel like you're here for something bigger, some sort of bigger purpose. You guys are seeking that. That's the thing with Sagittarius energy, because at the the end of the day, for you guys, it's all about the evolution of the soul. That's what you guys are ultimately seeking. You're seeking some sort of connection to a higher power, some sort of higher meaning. But with that being said as well, actually for sometimes what might happen for you guys is you guys might go too much into the surrender aspect of things, or you guys might see things as too much of a sign, where it's kind of like you guys surrender to the divine too much. Like that could definitely be something that does take place with the Sagittarius energy. So it's all about balancing the energy within, knowing when things are actually meant for you, and knowing that like just because an opportunity presents itself in your path, that you might not necessarily have to take it. That's the struggle with the Sagittarius energy, because guys can very much be like a yes person. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, The Yes Man, I think it's called, where he has to say yes to every opportunity that comes up. That could very much be you guys, where you guys just say yes to everything. And again, it could be to the point of your detriment. So just something to watch out for, and learning discernment along the journey is definitely going to be very, very important, and directing the energy within. Now, something else that I want to talk about in this video as well is how you guys handle conflict, because Mars is all about handling conflict. So for Mars in Sagittarius, for you guys, it's an interesting placement once again, because it's fiery, but at the same time, Sagittarius is all about positivity. It's all about the good vibes. It's all about putting the good vibes out there, the expansion, that Jupiter energy within. So it's interesting because for you guys, when it comes to conflict, you guys might just kind of be like, I can't be bothered with that. I'm just moving on to my next thing. You guys might escape conflict by going off on an adventure, or just doing something different and spontaneous. So that could be something that takes place, but definitely don't underestimate this energy, because it is fire at the end of the day. When you guys get into a conflict, it can get heated, it can get very fiery, it could even potentially maybe get violent, because it is fire at the end of the day. Although most of the time it might not necessarily go in that direction, but it's still fire. You guys are blunt. That's the thing. So sometimes, you know, you guys might be too blunt to the point where it might hurt the other person's feelings. So it kind of depends what energy you guys go into, but most of the time Mars and Sagittarius wants everything to be fun and good vibes. And the thing is, like, this energy, it's like you're either with them or you're not with them. And it's like if you're not aligning with whatever it is they're trying to do, they're not going to have an issue with leaving people behind, relationships, places, to basically choose themselves. That's the thing, because once again, it is that personal power within. So for Mars in Sagittarius, it always comes back down to choosing yourself in a not selfish way, though. It's more so in a soul expansion way. And it's like people around you who understand these aspects about you are going to give you guys that freedom. And if you guys are tuning in for a Mars and Saggy person, definitely allow these people to have their freedom, because if they feel suffocated or tied down in any way, they're gonna run so fast. You guys won't even like be able to finish your sentence. They're just gonna be like, I'm out. You guys are highly intelligent, highly intelligent, all about learning, the higher education. Another thing that I also want to mention in this video as well is that Mars and Sag might be interested in academia, pursuing higher education and higher learning, but they're able to focus their energy, and maybe after they've gotten a lot of things out of their system. So it's like for people who have Mars and Sagittarius, let's say you guys are watching for someone and maybe that person is younger, the best thing to do is to just allow them to do their thing, because honestly, eventually the Mars and Sag person will eventually get to that point of kind of focusing that energy on whatever it is they want to focus that energy on. And unfortunately for them, there might be a lot of up, down, where it's like they started, they don't continue it, they don't complete it, they move on to the next thing that's more interesting. But eventually they do get to that point. I will say that much, because they progress to that progression of having Mars in Capricorn. That's kind of what's waiting for them around the corner when you guys do have Mars in Sagittarius. So that's the thing with this energy. It's really like Mars and Sagittarius is just on their own clock. They're on their own timing. And for them, like, they always just know within that they're always going to align with whoever is meant to be in their journey for that part of the journey. It's part of some sort of bigger picture, some sort of bigger purpose. Everything that you guys are doing, let's say career, because Mars does deal with ambitions and goals, has to be part of something bigger, something where you guys feel like you're doing some sort of purpose. That's the thing. It's all about purpose and passion for Mars and Sagittarius. And I'm going to wrap it up here. So I do hope you guys enjoyed my video on Mars and Sagittarius. If you guys did, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.